Hi, it's Corrine. Thanks so much for stopping by. Today I am sharing 7 finished cards. I am using the fancy Dogwood 3D embossing folder and stencil by Gina K. This was in the April 2026 Sweet Celebrations kit. And this was a beautiful stencil set to work with. I believe in all I stenciled about 10 different backgrounds and finished 7 different cards. Some of them I used the embossing folder and some I just used the stencil, and a couple I used both the embossing folder and stencil. I like the option of having either or. And I did finish the inside of all the cards. I love to do that. I think it's a nice personal touch when giving it to someone. So today I'm working with 80-pound Hammermill cardstock. Here's what the fancy Dogwood Blossoms looks like, and it does come with the dies as well. This is a beautiful embossing folder. It's a 3D embossing folder, and look at the detail that that gives. So I went ahead and embossed several panels, and to stencil them I did pull out a 9x12 grip mat by Altenew. I keep it on a glass board with some reverse paper from sticker paper on it. That keeps the dust off of it, and it's just super easy to use. I also pulled out some Pink Fresh ink blending brushes and Simon Says Stamp Positively Saturated Inks. There is one panel that I use some distress inks for. I'll show you more in detail the colors that I used. So I did, for this first panel, give it a light blue wash. It will dry back a little, so it's going to be just a light blue background because I plan on going over these flowers with blue ink. So I thought it would blend over that nicely. So for this particular one, I pull out Cadet and Royal. I do a layer of Cadet and then I go over the middle to darken up the centers with Royal using a blending brush. And I believe I had to go over that first stencil again to darken up some of my petals here, but they're super easy to line up if you ever need to do that and add a little bit more shading. For my leaves, I pull out some Concord and Ninth. These are some of my favorite, the pistachio and artichoke. I love giving it a light wash of the pistachio and then deepening it with artichoke. Again, just using a smaller detailed brush to get in those centers. Here are more leaves. I chose to use the same colors and just try to vary the deepness of how dark I went with the artichoke. So for these centers of the flowers, I did have to mask part of them off. I'm using a pouncing brush and adding a little bit of white to the centers, simply because I plan on adding the texture paste to it. That way it didn't read as blue, or the ink blending that I did doesn't show up as much. And I'm going over those parts on the petals as well, just giving this a light coating of the texture paste. I'll set that aside to dry. That gives it just a nice little dimension. In the meantime, I cut out the flower using one of the dies, the larger die, and I plan to ink blend this the exact same way because I'm going to pop up this piece on the card, which eventually I change my mind and I layer it directly on it. I don't end up popping it up, but we'll get to that in just a moment. But I'm going to color this in using the same colors that I did previously. Having that sticky mat really works well because it holds it right in place. And I did add the texture paste to the center of that as well. And I will set that aside to dry. Here are the 4 panels that I stenciled on camera, or I believe 3 of them on camera. And for the colors, on the left I used Punch and Sangria, or Cabernet, excuse me, For the Distress Oxide, I used picked raspberries, squeezed lemonade, and peacock feathers. I did not end up making a card out of that one. I just set it aside and put it in my stash. I'm sure I'll do that at some point. So I do quickly show you all the colors again. You can pause it and screenshot it if you're interested in them. I love that Simon Says Stamp has the 3 different trios of colors, so you can get light, medium, and dark. And I just pulled out lots of die cuts, lots of sentiments, and had fun making these. I used the Better Press Spellbinders Cheers to You and the Cottage Cuts Wacky Frames. This one's a Simon Says Stamp large thank you. And I used this large wacky frame to cut out the center of a card front. For that card front, I used 100-pound hammer mill cardstock. I plan on adding some acetate behind it along with this panel here. For the acetate, I'm using the heat resistant from Simon Says Stamp. It's a little bit thicker than transparency, which I really like. So I just cut a size to fit behind my opening in my card front. But I did need to trim my panel down just slightly so it fit nicely behind my card base or my card front. So using some double-sided tape, I will add the acetate to the front of that card base. And I decided to use low profile shaker material in it. It's more like little confetti pieces or glitter pieces. So I didn't need thick foam tape. I went ahead and used thick cardstock instead. So I'm going to first add my little shaker pieces. These are by Recollections. I got them from Michael's, and I'm just kind of laying them all out, trying to figure out how much I wanted. So this card does not end up shaking the material around a lot. It kind of holds it somewhat in place. You'll see a little bit of movement, but that's what I was going for. So just using 120-pound thick cardstock, I'm going to add that around the inside of my frame, or the outside of my frame rather. And to do so, I'm using double-sided tape. So I just cut the pieces thin enough to fit around that, but stay within the confines of the front of my card. And that gives it just enough lift to allow for those glitter pieces in there. And they do, like I said, they do move around slightly, but they don't really shake. So now with that double-sided tape, I've attached my front piece, and here's the card there. And I'm just working on each card assembly line style. Here I'm using some pretty large foam dots. Like I said, after it sat a little bit, I changed my mind on this, and it was easy to pull those up and remove them and attach that directly to my card. But in the meantime, I thought this was the direction I was going. So I did allow that to dry because I added a little bit of wet glue to the center. Trimming that down slightly, I want to add that to the front of my card. I'll use some double-sided tape. And I like to use a magnet to hold the card base in place so it doesn't move around when I glue this down. So I made 2 different card bases out of white, and now I'm working on the next one using, I love that wonky die cut, so I use that again, but I'm going to keep the frame even though I cut that out. I'm going to cut an additional 5 or 6 layers of some scrap cardstock that I had. So the first thing I want to do is put my card base into my scoreboard and glue down the frame. It just holds it in place, makes it easy to glue that right up in the corner. And then I'm going to start adding my cardstock. So I believe I add 5 different layers, but it was just a little too high, so I ripped one of them off. Because each layer I'm using is the 80-pound hammer mill cardstock of scrap pieces that I had. Once I was happy with the amount of dimension, I added the stenciled panel back on. This is not embossed, this is just stenciled. And now I'm using this gorgeous thank you. I believe this is by Honeybee Stamps. I went ahead and cut 3 layers out from white cardstock, the same matching white cardstock. I cut the shadow layer from vellum, and I'm going to add another cardstock layer underneath the vellum to adhere to the front of my card. So using some reverse tweezers, I'm just really taking my time getting that in place. I like to use a scrap piece of paper and press the die cut off on that to make sure a lot of glue doesn't squeeze out. So I'll adhere that down. I kind of hold it up to be able to see if it's straight or not. Once I'm happy with that, I put a little weight on it to hold it in place. And for this one, I could not decide if I wanted to use this Ulta Smoky Quartz glitter or the clear dewdrops. I end up actually using both. Did the same thank you for this card here and just kind of played around with it until I got what I thought looked good. I was happy with it towards the bottom right, but then I thought I wanted a little more color, so I pulled out some Briar Rose cardstock by Concord and Ninth and just added that to the top of my white layer pieces. Again, using vellum for my backing, which is such a pretty look. And being that that was on acetate, it did take a little time to dry, but I just put a paperweight on it and set it aside. So for this one, I'm trying to decide if I want to do this thank you, which I do end up doing. I use a Spellbinders A7 die, and I cut it to a little bit smaller, or I'm sorry, an A2 die, which I cut to a little bit smaller to give myself a little bit of a frame. And I use this large Lawn Fawn thank you to cut out the center. And I'm going to do the exact same thing where I add several white layers behind it and add the stencil pattern back on top. So for this one, I believe I did 3 white layers. I will also add acetate behind this. So again, just using double-sided tape. You can also use wet glue, it just takes longer to dry. I just place that right behind the opening because I'm going to do the same thing where I add some glitter paper actually behind it. I will glue that back down, give that a little time to dry, and then I will adhere down the stencil piece on top of that. So it just from an angle, it has just that little bit of white peeking out, really pretty. I'm going to, for this one, add foam tape to the entire back. And then all these pieces I did, because they're white on the other side, I took the time to make sure that the glitter portion of the paper showed. It was well worth it. And these little circle die cuts come from a Prima confetti, circle confetti die. You've seen me use it in many, many videos. So I went ahead and added those, a few to the inside, and then finished off the outside of the card with a few of them as well. So again, using a Spellbinders rectangle die, I'm adding this one to a larger frame, a black frame, and I do add some black cardstock behind it. Actually for this piece, I used a piece of black chipboard, a light weight chipboard, so it gives it a little bit of dimension and it blends in. And I like that large black frame. And then this die cut, I did 2 layers of it. This is a gorgeous Simon Says stamp. I believe it's Christina Warner's handwriting. Gave that some time to dry. And then added a few clear dewdrops. Actually, I think this is the card that I go ahead and add some of the smoky quartz to. But look how pretty those clear dewdrops are on there. So this one I'm trimming down slightly, just using my Gina K paper trimmer. Again, I loved how the blue looked on that black card base. And I pulled out the Spellbinders Better Press plate, Cheers to You. And I will be hot foiling this with some silver foil, I believe. So here's where I changed my mind. I went ahead and peeled off, knowing that it would probably tear my paper, but it was okay because I plan on gluing this piece back down just using some Beacon Fabri-Tac glue. And then it still has a little bit of, you can tell that it's raised slightly. So now this card, I was looking at it and I decided I wanted this on a black card base. So I just glued the entire thing down on the black card base. I forgot at this time to, because this was on a white card base, instead of cutting it, I didn't want to get it, I didn't want to screw it up with the dimension on the front and things like that. So I just glued the entire card base on front. Now, at the time, I forgot to actually glue the card closed. So when I go back later, I do that. Using my hot foil, I'm going through and doing several different, I don't show them all on camera because I was testing out all different colors. I did silver, I did blue, I did this beautiful copper color, and I just had fun using my hot foil. I hadn't used it in a little bit, so I went through, did a few sentiments, and then cut them out with the coordinating dies to decide which I liked for each card. And any extras that I have, I just keep in my stash and use them for future cards. I figured why I have all the items out for hot foiling, I should do quite a few. And look how pretty that turned out. That's a pink. I don't end up using that today. So here's where I realized I never glued down the front of that card. I could have left it actually, but I decided to go ahead and glue it closed. So when you open it up, it'll be, the inside will be, it'll open up to a black card base. Now it's time to just kind of put everything together and finish off the insides of the cards. For this, I'm using this really pretty blue foil. I did two of those. And I do like to, again, give my cards a little bit of dimension. So for those, I'm using some black cardstock and doing 2 different layers behind the main piece. And then here's from that Spellbinders Better Press. I used it with silver hot foil. I'm going through and adding on this card some Pink Fresh gems. For the card on the right, I will go ahead and use some yellow enamel dots that coordinate very well with the center of the flowers on my stenciling. I quickly did the inside for every single card, just assembly line style. Some of them I used the matching, like this one here, I used the matching stamp set. And others I just used a coordinating stamp set, like say a birthday stamp set. For this one, it's a Gina K. It comes from that same kit. So here is a look at all the cards. I love how they all turned out. This was a lot of fun to play with, and I still have more panels to go back and make some more cards with. I will be sure to link to that card kit down in the description box. I believe that the embossing folder is being sold separate, or should be sold separate soon. I love that gradient of the inside sentiment that says so much. This one, I love it. I stamped from the bottom of my heart, I appreciate you, using that Briar Rose coordinating ink. These, I really love blue flowers. I thought these turned out really pretty, and the Make-A-Wish is so pretty on it. So I use the same coordinating stamp on the inside of both of these. I love that large happy birthday. And those gems turned out so pretty from Pink Fresh. That's a Gina K stamp set. And then this thank you, I love that font. And here's where I'm showing that I added both the glitter paper and the dewdrops. The dewdrops blended in just a little too much, so I wanted to add a little bit more. And I love that for everything on the inside with the stamped heart. So here's probably my favorite one. I love that popped up look with the gold, the smoky quartz by Altenew, and that Thanks for Everything is one of my favorite stamps. So I hope you've enjoyed today. Thanks for stopping by. Please consider giving this video a thumbs up and subscribing to my channel. Thanks. Have a great day.